Okay, so this video is actually going to be one of probably, I think, a five-part series here for the grinder assembly. I am going to create a video for each of the parts, and then ultimately the fifth video will be the final assembly and the assembly of the drawing, which is what you'll have to submit in. So we're going to start really quickly here with this is our original drawing. And what we're going to do first is I'm going to create this base in this lower left-hand corner. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that so we can kind of take a look at this. Now this is pretty straightforward. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my SOLIDWORKS up and running here while we're talking. And as that's doing that, we're going to make a quick plan of how to attack this. The way I would prefer to actually create this part and make it easiest for me would be to draw from the top view a simple square that is 3.5 by 3.5. That's what that symbol means, a square. And then go ahead and come in at the midway point on the front here and also on the right side and creating these two shapes and cutting them through. Okay, so this should be done in basically about 3 steps. Pretty straightforward, not too difficult. So again, we're looking at this. I don't see any metric anywhere, so go ahead and we'll start this as a file new, and we'll do this in parts. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this going. Going here, I'm going to bring my SOLIDWORKS over and taken care of here. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to go ahead and do a file new, start this in inches. Sorry, it's on the other screen, and say OK. Now again, I'm going to put my plan into action here. As soon as this comes up, SOLIDWORKS being a little slow right now. But now it's going to pop up here. I'm going to highlight over here in my design tree, my top plane, and start a new sketch. And I'm going to use my corner rectangle to attach to my origin and create a simple squarish looking shape. Hit my F key to center it up. Smart dimension. And I'll go ahead and put 3.5 on this side and 3.5 down below. Okay, now this is a simple extrusion, so I'm going to go to Features and Extrude, and we are going to extrude this at 3/4 of an inch, 0.75, enter. I'm going to hit my check mark. Okay, now, obviously this is not made of balsa wood, that's not what we're making out of, so I'll go back to my PDF file, and I'll look over here in this bill of materials, we'll talk more about later, and I'm looking for what is the description or material. Okay, in this case it will be alloy steel. So I'm going to go ahead and add in that alloy steel by going back into my SOLIDWORKS, right-clicking on the word balsa, edit material, and changing this to steel, and then go down to the word alloy steel. We're not doing the SS stainless steel, we just want the simple alloy steel. We're going to apply and close. Now I'm going to go ahead and highlight this front edge right here and start a new sketch. Spacebar, normal 2. I'm going to go ahead and turn my line tool on. I'm basically going to create kind of a pyramidal shape here. I'm going to kind of go here, kick it out down this way, come back across, and close this figure. Okay, it's important that we have it fully closed. All right, now I'm going to throw on some dimensions. Specifically at the top is 0.313. The dimension at the bottom is 0.5. I'm not going to freak out that it shifts on me. We'll get that situated in just a second. From the top to here will be 0.375. And then the big thing is I need to make both of these sides equal to each other. So I'm going to hold my control key, click on both of these lines, come to my left, and hit equals. Okay. Now the problem is it's still blue because we have not located it along the top line here. Now according to the drawing, from the center of this mark here to the edge is 1.75. So turning on my smart dimension, I'm going to go over to this center mark, and when it pops up, I'm going to left click on it, come over here to my left, pull straight up, and make this 1.75, enter. Okay, so now it's fully defined. I see all black lines. I see fully defined down below. So at this point, I'm going to go to my Features toolbar, Extrude to Cut, and so you can see this, I'll rotate with my little mouse button. I'm just going to take this from blind to through all, and hit my check mark. Okay, so at this point, isometric view. I am now going to do the same exact thing I just did here, but I'm going to do it on the right-hand side here. So I'm going to highlight this right face, start a new sketch. Spacebar, normal 2. I'm going to try my line tool again, and I'm going to draw the exact same shape I just did before, kind of out, over. I'm making it really big. It's okay. And I'm going to add the same exact dimensions I did before. Hit this top line. I'm going to make this 0.313. This bottom line is going to be 0.5. From top to bottom will be 0.375. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn off that tool there for a second and hold my control key. I'm going to make my two sides are going to become equal. And then again, with my smart dimension, I'm going to attach to the middle or midpoint of this top line, left click, go to the side over here, pull up, make it 1.75, enter. Again, I see all black. I see it say fully defined at the bottom. So now I'll just go ahead to my isometric so you can see this. I'm simply going to go to Features, Extruded Cut, and once again I'll drop this from blind to through all. I'm going to hit my check mark, and at this point your part, the grinder assembly base is completed. Okay. Now I should have done this in the first step. Always save your parts. So I'm going to do a quick Control S. I'm going to go ahead and save this, in this case, to my desktop. You should save it to your H drive in your CAD folder. Okay, I would make a folder called Grinder Assembly. I'm going to call this Grinder Base underscore my last name, period. Whoops, actually it's underscore my last name, sorry. I'm going to say save. And at this point, you are done with this part. Okay, the next video, I will go over the slider itself, and then we'll follow that up with the handle. Okay, use this video to your advantage. Pause, rewind, and use it how you need to. Otherwise, good luck.